Hi everyone, it's Sonia McDonald here, and it's been a while since we've done our leadership lives, and so I'm really excited that we're back doing these lives, and back with one of the most remarkable leaders, and Emma Jin, who is a consulting manager at Accenture, and she was our winner in our outstanding leadership awards 6 weeks ago. We were just talking off air. The poor thing couldn't make it because she was unwell, but she was following it on Insta and on LinkedIn, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I wish I was there." We were just talking about how amazing it was. But welcome to our leadership live today. How are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm so stoked to be here. Feeling really, really privileged. And like you said, I'm very, very gutted that I wasn't able to make it on the night. It looked like such an incredible celebration of leadership and all forms of leadership, right? Right down to myself, such a great surprise as a future leader, and some so much more experienced. And such a credit to you and your team and all your hard work. I know this is something that you're so passionate about. So, well, what a great, amazing celebration and a fruition of all your hard work too, Sonia.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it has been. It's been a dream of mine for a very long time. And the team and I, particularly the team, have been working super
Yeah.
hard the last 2 years to bring these awards together. And I know how passionate you are about great leadership because you're really passionate about not only leadership, but you're also passionate about women in leadership. You're passionate about diversity, inclusion, all the things that really make my heart sing as well. That we're on this mission, right, to change the world in terms of women in leadership. Particularly, I think I read on LinkedIn you're also around particularly like Asian women as well in
Yeah.
leadership. Yes. Which I lived in Asia for 2 years, so yeah, I it was probably one of my greatest experiences in my career, and the people are incredible as well. And so tell us about a little bit about your journey and obviously winning this award. I mean, your submission and your nomination we were so incredible. We were so proud of you because you're a great role model, right? This is what it's about. The awards are about showcasing and celebrating great, kind, and courageous and inclusive leaders and leadership. And so you're a great role model for so many people out there, particularly our future leaders, right? So what does leadership mean to you, and what did the award mean for you?
It's so funny you say that because although I do seek to I think I've grown in the years. I'm still new into my journey, and I don't feel like I'm a leader, and maybe that's what makes me a leader in some regards, because I believe, I truly believe in making an impact around me, and then the kind of results speak for itself. I want to create great impact to my people, to the clients that I do work with at Accenture, and really, really do good work, and kind of everything comes off the back of that, in my opinion. And leadership is a funny one because I also believe that everybody can be a leader, and it doesn't matter what position you play. Look, in the grand scheme of things, I'm still kind of new and fairly junior at Accenture, but I believe that you can make impact no matter how big or small your sphere of influence is. I always talk about your sphere of influence and how you can continue to grow that. So as I've grown through the years at Accenture, I've been there for 6 years now. I've started off as a graduate, didn't really know what I was doing, was really lost, really looked up to a lot of great people in my career. And then slowly but surely, as I started doing that really great work and started just modeling good behavior, I think that these things have often just come to me as a consequence of just having the right goals and having the right ambition and the right morals. So yeah, I think that's maybe just a bit of a very quick debrief of, I guess, what leadership looks like to me and what it means to me. In terms of the, I guess, diversity and inclusion piece, and how I see myself and as a female Asian, woman of color, for me, it is a big passion of mine. I think we look to model people that look like us. And if I look around, not just at my own organization, but many others out there, there are very few female leaders of color in executive positions. There's, some research that's come out from the chief executive woman recently, just about women in general, and we're going backwards in that space as well, right? So you couple all these other intersectional elements on top of that, and there's so much work that we need to do and so much allyship that we need to promote So my objective and my goal for the last couple of years has always been, how do we create an awareness and understanding of that we don't all come from the same level playing field, and what does it mean, and what do we need to do to get there to the same level playing field, if that makes sense. And diversity is only an added benefit to business outcomes, and there's so much research that actually proves that as well.
There is so much research, and I'm very aware of that data that's come out from the chief executive women. Yeah, I did a post about that last week, and it actually now makes me even more determined, like so determined. And I don't know if you noticed, and this was just happened. It kind of evolved through the leadership awards, and I don't know if you noticed this. Like there were 16 categories, and we had how many? We had hundreds and hundreds of people that nominated. We had a finalist group of 100 finalists, and I think it was 60% women, 40% men. Thank goodness I'm not a judge. We had the most remarkable judges. Thank goodness I'm not a judge in these awards, because I felt everyone were winners. And I agree, we do what we see, right? This is why we've got the awards. This is why we're on this mission, and that you're part of this mission, that you're doing what you're championing. We had the finalists, we had 14 women and 2 men.
I saw that. And I thought that was such a great outcome. And I think I loved your post, because you said, don't worry, there were some men as well, because there were all women on the stage. And I was like, I'm here for this. I love it. But, I think it's awesome, because normally it's men, putting themselves up for positions or supporting each other in some regards. But, having a diverse panel that picked people that were just the most deserving is a real showcase that women can do everything. Like, we are at the forefront as well, and we just need to be given the opportunity to do it.
We do need to be given the opportunity to do it, and there's so many great women out there. Hey, and I get, like, for me, like, and I obviously we're on this mission to building great leadership and great leaders in leadership and diversity, and I'm also about, whether it's culture, race, gender, age, whatever it is, I think that leadership, we can all be leaders. And I love the fact, like when I looked at your nomination, even reading your LinkedIn again today, getting ready for this interview, and I love the fact that you start with legacy, right? Because you talk about what's my legacy, or what's legacy, and that's the legacy. Leadership is about how we can make an impact, and what's the legacy we want to leave. And I want my generations of today and tomorrow, I want them to be empowered and inspired and go, how can I lead? How can I step up and lead? And when we look at people like yourself, Emma, it's wow, like I'm seeing this role model in Emma. Like, I'm seeing this incredible woman, that she's Asian, she's a woman of color, that she's out there paving the way. But I agree, we do what we see, and you're a great inspiration. So I love that you're stepping up and you're wanting to leave that legacy.
Oh, no, thanks so much. And I believe in legacy and what you leave behind, but also what makes you you. So, yeah. I mean, I think you probably preach a lot about this as well, about authentic leadership. So I do speak a little bit about this too, and how you have to leverage your story in order to shape the person that you want to be. Now, whether that's the leadership style you want to be, or just the person you want to be, right? Because not everyone wants to be a leader as well, right? And that's also okay. But, if I reflect on my life, and you probably saw that on my LinkedIn, but, I didn't grow up with the easiest upbringing, single mom in a predominantly Anglo neighborhood. I was one of a handful of non-international Asian students. I grew up in New Zealand. So we're talking about, early 2000s. I went to high school, right? And so I think it was 2000. It feels like a long time ago now. And so, it wasn't as diverse, and it's definitely not as diverse as I feel in Australia. So I live in Melbourne. It's one of the most diverse cities in the world, I would say. And I love being here for that reason. And, if I think back and the things that have really got me to where I have been, it's all that adversity, right? It's growing up, we call it social mobility in Accenture, but it's that sort of, you grow up not necessarily that privilege and so many different elements, all those intersectional elements. And it's that adversity that's really shaped my path and that level of resilience. Like, I don't really quit, right? I just, I get a roadblock, someone doesn't believe in me, but then I just keep going, because that's not the legacy that I want to leave behind. That's not going to make it easier for another person if I just stop, because to your point, I'm getting to the part of my career where people are now starting to look up for me. And so I don't want to stop because it gets hard. Because if I did that, then I would not be where I am today, and that's not something that is part of me. So I continue to. I always say I continue to fight the good fight. I continue to push for progress, and you want progress over perfection. Every day is not the easiest. Sometimes there are things that don't go the way that you want them to, but as long as you have the right support around you and you have good leaders that you can model off and create your own version of authentic leadership, that's kind of all that I'm trying to do in this life, and my objectives as a leader.
I love that. I love the adversity. That's why I'm a big one around courage and courage,
Yes.
adversity, having that courage to overcome. Hence, that's why we're championing courageous leadership. That's why I wrote a book around courage. And and if there's anything you can take, if you're actually watching this today or listening to this and listening to Emma's words, it's those, it's really easy to sail a ship when the seas are smooth, right?
Yeah.
This is when true leadership comes out, when you have to face the crises and adversities. Just keep moving forward. I think that we can learn just as much, even more about ourselves when we're facing or calling into courage or facing challenges and adversity. And I love the fact, you mentioned that you were brought up by a single mum. Because I'm a full-time single parent, and I look,
it's so tough.
it is really tough. And I look at my daughter today, despite her challenges, and looking at her today. And now it was interesting. A few months ago, we had to move house again. I won't go down that around moving and rental markets. And anyway, and we had to move house again. And I was in this, we've moved 3 times in 18 months. So this is like whilst I've been trying to organize these and champion these awards. And we went out, and I said to my daughter, I said, we were moving house the next day. And I said, I'm too tired to cook. Let's go and grab some dinner. And we were out having dinner, and my daughter bursts out crying at dinner. And she says, Mum, and I'm looking at her thinking, what's going on? She goes, Mum, I didn't just realize, she's studying social work at university. And she said, I didn't realize until today how tough it's been for you being a woman and being a single parent and all this. And she's crying, and she goes, like seeing the challenges. And I'm thinking, gosh, it only took you 20 years to see them. I thought, you know what, Abby, I said, it's the adversity. Like, I've embraced and I love now. Like, and every time like I get a challenge or that adversity or I had that feel, I embrace it. I go, okay, I've got, like when we started the awards in 2019 and then COVID hit 2020, we had to reschedule the awards 4 times that year. And I really had to call on my courage. And I just thought, you know what, it's this adversity that that I'm going through is just going to make me stronger. It's going to make me even a greater leader and a greater follower, as you mentioned. Sometimes we don't want to be leaders. Sometimes we go, you know what, sometimes we need to follow. And I think on that night when I saw your name up in lights and I saw all the other finalists, I was the follower that night. I went, you know what, I'm going to follow all of you because does that make sense? Like I went, you've given me hope. Like you as winners and finalists, when I saw your name up as a winner, you gave me hope. Like I thought, you're giving us all hope that there's going to be great leaders that are leading our world and our future. So sorry, that was a bit of a rant there, but I just, yeah.
No. And I agree with that, right? When you say about courage and courageous leadership and, being able to, when you're at that crossroads and, if I think about the business world as well, right? Sometimes you're at that crossroad about what decision that you need to make. And I find particularly like you're saying, if you follow your own moral compass and your beliefs and that strong will and what you know and what you believe to think is right, it kind of comes out all okay at the end of the day. So for you, it's, very much believing that these awards mean something to you and mean something to people. And the outcome of seeing those names in the lights was for you just obviously so amazing because you're like, I had to do this through COVID and everyone's, flown here and bought these tickets and so I completely get where you're coming from because sometimes, it's not the easy way is not necessarily going to get you the most joy in your life.
And so what advice would you give for everyone's listening? Because there's loads of people that are actually commenting here. People have said congratulations, which is wonderful. what advice would you give to anyone out there around leadership, around overcoming adversity? What advice would you give, like, or even say to your younger self? Like, what would you say for anyone listening today?
You know, it's interesting that you say that, right? So I've written notes down, so I'm just having a look at my notes to make sure I've gotten everything. But I think for me, it's always been to find good people to support you. I think that's like critical. No matter where I've been in my life journey, it's always been, you know, either my family supporting me in the best way that they can support me. And then as I've gotten older and I moved away from home because I'm from New Zealand originally. But even before that, like I remember one of my high school teachers, Ms. Powell, Karen Powell, shout out to her. She was one of my biggest inspirations for my life. I remember saying to her, Miss, she was my physics teacher. She's like, Miss, this is too hard. I'm just going to marry rich. Like, it's all good. And I have not done that. And she said, she said, you will never say that to me again. And I was like, yeah, fair. And because I also went to an all girls school, so it was all about, I never thought that I could not do anything. So I think that really set me on this path of like, you know what? No, I don't really need, like, I can do all of this. And then, you know, a couple of leaders at Accenture for different reasons. So my career counselor, we're very fortunate at Accenture to have a very kind of, you know, a great program that helps you set yourself up for your career. And my career counselor, Alexandra Yao, she's been an absolute force and an amazing leader. You know, my direct lead at the moment, Maya Beska, has been very, very supportive, particularly as I transition into this manager phase. There's a really senior person, Jonathan Restaurant, who supported me from day one. I remember going to him in tears, just so upset about something, and I was so junior, right? These people have been with the organization for 10, 20 years, and I'm this new person coming in, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. I'm completely new to business as well. Keep in mind, my degree is from science, and I didn't know. And these people just took the time to sit with me and never belittled me, supported me in what I wanted to do in my career, just help and listen to me and just believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I think that's a big one. You know, I think when you're, particularly, you know, if you're at crossroads in your own career or in your own journey towards leadership or whatever you want to achieve in your life, I think a big limiting factor for women particularly is that self-doubt. I definitely know as a junior person and, you know, coming off the back of not actually completing my PhD, I had a lot of self-doubt, and I had some leaders that they had their own journeys as well and not necessarily supported me in the way that I needed to be supported as well. So I had struggled a lot with, can I do this? Am I going to be okay? Am I doing the right thing? And the leaders that I mentioned are the ones that sit with me and say, you know, it's okay. Don't worry. You can do this. Here's some guidance. This is what you need to do next. Talk to this person. Let's do this instead. And it's always those people that have that empathy and kindness. You also talk about kind leadership as well. It's that kindness that they possess that makes me want to be a similar kind of leader as well. I want to always be there and open to have those conversations with people as well. So, you know, I think that would be advice that I would give as most critical is making sure that you have great leaders around you. And then also not only that, but great leaders that will follow you as well, because you're only as good as the team that you have with you. And I'm what I call relentless about talent. So I find people and I find smart people, and you need to invest time in them as well and help support their careers as well. And I think that makes a really well-rounded relationship, is when you have great leaders and you have people that you work with as well that you can lead. I don't like to say that I lead them. I like to say we work together. And that's what we want, right? We want to create good outcomes. And from my perspective as a consultant, we want to create good outcomes for our clients. And that's what we're here to do. So yeah, finding the right support, that's number one. And if you struggle to do that, you know, maybe we can have a chat and I can maybe help you.
It is true. I always say it's important that you have people in your rowboat that want to row the boat with you, right? And you want to row it with you, and also taking the courage to let go of those people that aren't the right people around you as well. I think that takes a lot of courage, and I think that's really important. And that confidence, that believing in yourself. I know that's something I'm really passionate about, is helping anyone, particularly women, because I do see it more often than not, because we do a lot of coaching, and I probably find women tend to come to the table with more self-doubt. know why. And that's why that self-belief, like believing in yourself, again, I would say that to my younger self, like really believe in yourself more, take more risks, be more courageous, um, say yes to opportunities, and
I
just
know.
keep.
And you know what? It's, it sounds really corny, right, when you say these words, but it's actually fundamentally the truth.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
everyone will be like, say yeah, take opportunity. Like, but you're completely right. It's the truth. I've only become successful in my career because I've not said no at work. And to your point, there is a level of boundary setting. Like you've got to understand to let go when you need to let go and all those things. And you have to identify the right opportunities to take that step forward. But when you're in a position when you're new to an organization, new to your career, new to whatever, you say
Yeah.
yes, right? You have to say yes. And if you can't do it, I think a limiting factor for women is we feel like we're not qualified to do the job. And there's so much evidence to say that, right? So much evidence to say that, if there was a job out there and a man had 60% of those qualifications, he would still just apply for that job. But if a woman came to the table with the same level of qualifications, they would feel like they're not ready for that, right? So,
Yeah.
and I think that's completely true. And and to your point, I'm not sure where the self doubt comes from, but I definitely now, one of my bosses said, you walk around like you own the place sometimes, and I'm like, because I need to. Like, if I don't look good, I don't walk around with confidence, then maybe I won't believe it, right? So I need to believe. I need to act the part in order to believe that I can do it.
Yeah.
Another big thing that I've realized as well is a recognition that I can't do everything. So
Yeah.
we at Accenture are really a big on organizations. We use Gallup Strengths, so we're very big on strength based and finding the right roles for you based on your strengths. And you understand your weaknesses, but you don't kind of dwell too much on those. And I fully believe that, right? Because Accenture is a company of 700,000 people. I am never going to be as good as someone else at something else, right? But I'm really good at, leadership narrative, or I'm great at project management, or I'm pretty good at process optimization, pretty good at change management. There are things that I'm really, I've got skills in, but transformation, I'm really, really great at. So complex transformations and business transformations. But am I very good at doing the really in-depth Excel spreadsheet and sitting there and doing the data crunching? No, I'm not, right? And that's, but I spent so much of my youth feeling like I needed to be everything and I needed to be really good at that. Otherwise, I was never going to be successful. But, if I had that same mentality, like, why am I not an Olympic swimmer or whatever, like an amazing singer, right? Sometimes these things just don't come naturally to us. And that's also okay. And so, finding what you're good at and finding those strengths, finding the right support network, believing in yourself, to your point, Sonia, just leaning in, being courageous, all of those things make for a successful career. And as much as these are words, these are things I really do live and believe in. And I know, Sonia, you live and believe in these things too.
It makes you stay. Just stay there. I want to show you something. Hang on 2 secs. Hang on
Oh,
2 secs.
she's off showing me things.
Well, because you mentioned this, right? This is something we're really passionate about.
There we go,
So,
the Clifton
yeah.
strength. I love
So
it. Yeah.
So everyone that's watching or listening, make sure we do this in all our coaching and our leadership programs. We're huge around strengths-based leadership. So make sure you get it. You can get it online through Gallup, but also, and you can do it online, but you can also get this through Amazon or Booktopia. Do it with yourself. Do it with your teams. It's awesome. I love strengths-based leadership.
It's
So
awesome,
thank you so much. I could talk to you for so much longer around all this sort of stuff. I know your award is coming. I know it's gone a bit. She's got this beautiful award that apparently got delivered, but it's gone a bit AWOL. So that's okay. We will find it. We'll find it. But also in your pack was this book, First Comes Courage, which I've just published. So that's coming. If it isn't, I'll resend that book. I'm sure it'll be on its way. But in terms of people that are listening or watching around the awards, like, how did you find the awards? What advice would you give for anyone that's going, wow, like these global leadership awards championing great, kind, courageous, and inclusive leadership? I mean, what advice how did you find the awards, or what advice would you give to others that are thinking about this sort of putting themselves, like nominating themselves, putting themselves up for the awards?
Yeah, you know what? You will never get anything in life just by being a bystander. So, if anyone's scared or worried or anything like that, you just got to take that first step. To your point, Sonia, you got to be courageous, right? So it was great to be able to write down my achievements as well and the things that I've done. And then I also had a couple of testimonials from people at work as well, that supported it. So I actually nominated myself. I'm not shy about it. I nominated myself because
So proud.
yeah, because you know what? You've got to back yourself, is what I firmly believe in. You've got to back yourself. Admittedly, I think if I had asked someone or, some other people might have, nominated me as well. And I did obviously get some testimonials too. So it wasn't that, obviously it wasn't for nothing, because you guys read my submission and obviously felt like it was a strong candidate and ended up winning. But you've just got to back yourself, and you've just got to go do it, because you're not going to get anything in your life that you want, and you can't sit there being like, I wish I did that, or I deserve it more than Emma, or I do this, I do that, because you know what, you didn't apply. So do you deserve it more than I do? Well, you didn't apply, and maybe if you applied, you would. So you've just got to you've got to take it. You've got to take the opportunity and do it, and be courageous, because you've also got nothing to lose. If you didn't win, you don't have to tell anyone that you applied for it. So you might as well just give it a go. That's kind of my advice.
Yeah, I think you've got to put your hand up. You've got to do it. I mean, everyone that was in the room, we had like 250 people in the room, and we had a number of people live. Oh, it was.
I was unwell, so I couldn't make it, unfortunately. And I literally was just saying to Sonia before we went on air that I was so jealous. Like, I saw everything on social media, and I was like, I actually just wish I was there. But unfortunately, I was a bit unwell. But yeah, sorry, Sonia, I interrupted you.
No, you don't have to say sorry. I love the excitement. Gosh, never say sorry. It was everything and more. It's like, your wedding day, right? It was just like, well, not that I'm married, but anymore. But it was like, it made, and everyone in the room, like, even weeks afterwards, we got inundated with messages and emails and calls. Like, everyone was just like, that was an incredible night. I remember we checked out the next day, and we were checking out, and the receptionist, she says to me, oh my gosh, were you at those leadership awards last night? This was at this beautiful hotel in the city. And we were like, yeah, we were. And she said, so many people were checking out going, we had the best night. One couple said, oh, we were only going to stay for the first awards, but we were having, and I'm thinking, what award? I thought, okay. And then she said, we were having the best night that we decided to stay, and we ended up dancing the night away. And everyone just said it was inspirational. It gave us so much hope. It made us really think about, and even the finalists that were there, I believe that everyone should have won, because everyone was remarkable. The finalists were like, we can't wait to get involved next year. And it's really inspired us to leave that legacy. And they're all then everyone started connecting with each other. All the finalists and winners were connecting on social media in the room. So again, it's that ripple effect that we can have, right? Like, this platform is about a ripple effect, and about having great role models like you. So having you as a role model and having you as a finalist and now winner has been so wonderful. So thank you so much for nominating. And I hope anyone else that's listening, please do what Emma did. Back yourself, put yourself up there, stand up, step in, have the courage to go, you know what, I'm really proud of my achievements, and I'm really proud of my successes and everyone else's successes. That's what we need to be doing. So I just want to say thank you for being part of the live, and for being part of the live today, but also, being a winner and championing great leadership, and diversity and inclusion and courage and kindness. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. It's my honor and pleasure.
And is there anything else you'd love to say before we jump off? Because I've taken way too much of your time at 30 minutes. Even though was there anything else that you'd love to say to anyone that's watching?
No, just for anyone that is watching and that knows me, just massive thank you for everybody that supported me on this journey. I just went through, it's been a tough couple of years with COVID and everything, and I feel like I've come out on the other end, and it's only up from here. So a big thank you. And I also saw, Sonia, I think you guys are going to be in Melbourne next year, right?
We are, yes.
So, I live in Melbourne, so this is going to be, I'm hopefully going to be obviously well enough, touch wood, and I'm definitely going to make my way over there and support everybody there too. Can't wait.
Excellent.
And see you in person. That'd be awesome.
That would be amazing. Yeah, Melbourne next year, and then we want to take it around the globe. So, if you want to nominate, Yep. If you want to nominate, you want to be a partner or a sponsor, a future judge, just reach out to us at Leadership HQ. The nominations open on the 10th of October. We're really excited. It's just going to get bigger and bigger, and then Australia, then the rest of the world. So if you would love us to be in your city, just approach us. But please, please nominate. And thank you so much, Emma. If there's anything we can do to help you, please reach out, or anyone that's listening, please reach out, because we're all about wisdom and lifting each other up to success. So please reach out if we can help anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you. You take care. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.